All right, so I'm just stupid dog, and this is the one thing I was going to tell you. The writer girl came back into the fold, so all of a sudden the producer shows up with the writer girl, and the first thought I had, like, hey, stupid dog, is I see that's the original writer girl, but this is like the third or fourth iteration of the producer. So, I mean, is this the matchup? I mean, the writer girl's bad enough, but if this isn't even the real, relationship, I mean, we can travel through time, space this way, but is it worth it? This isn't the right producer with the writer girl's the same one, okay? The writer girl comes out with this pitch right away. She says, this character I want to write a story about, she was convinced that her hair had feelings for her. And I'm like, stupid dog, I was like, could you repeat that? She goes, all right, so this character I want to write about her, she was convinced that her own hair had feelings for herself. And that time I didn't like it as much. I'm like, stupid dog. I said, wait, one more time. And the writer girl goes, okay, this is the pitch. I'm writing this thing about this really hotsy-totsy kind of girl who's living in the suburbs of a big city. Okay, turns out, we're wondering, this girl, does she have ulcers? Does she got some problems? You know what I'm saying? Turns out she was convinced her hair had feelings for her. And at that point, I was like, yeah, okay. I think this is like something we could do. This is something like you could, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, the writer girl said, that's not the title. That's like the treatise. That's the pitch. This is the title. Okay, this is the title. And this was about Kendra. So the writer girl says the title is, Kendra, when you say, let me in, what do you mean? I'm like, stupid dog. I was like, this is crazy. You lost me, okay? But, so the writer girl goes on to make the pitch. She said that Kendra was convinced her psychologist, and then the writer girl paused. She said, maybe the title should be Kendra versus her psychologist, because the bottom line of this whole thing is that Kendra thinks her psychologist loves her, and she's trying to prove that. But anyways, what the thing is that Kendra was convinced her psychologist had feelings for her. And the audience thought, wow, this is going to be like some kind of woke, side with the victim the whole time thing. But it's revealed that Kendra, she's just like literally completely delusional. She says, this is how she begins the whole thing. It's on the tape. You can listen to it for yourself. She says, the therapist asked me if I had diarrhea for my medication. And I said, what? Do I take diarrhea for my medication? He's like, do you have diarrhea for your medication? And I didn't even know what to say. That's one right. But that was one reason, and this is Kendra. Kendra said, that's one reason why I knew he must like me. You don't ask a girl about her diarrhea if you don't really, really dig her. I mean, that's just part of it. And I thought the psychiatrist maybe said, because there's these little diarrhea capsules you could take nowadays for different kind of gut issues, But that's one of the reasons why Kendra believed that her psychologist really loved her. Then all of a sudden, the writer girl, she kind of like makes this aside. She says, is it possible that this guy's really having all his needs met? Because the writer girl's like, Kendra's trying to claim that this psychologist is getting all of his needs met. And I'm like, stupid dog, is I'm like, unless you got knee pads on, honey, he's not getting all his needs met. But, the writer girl, she said almost as an aside, she says, yeah, like this guy's getting all his needs met by 1.5 hour, once a month sessions, listen to Kendra, bitch. So Kendra was in this delusional situation where she thought that her psychologist's whole life revolved around her monthly visits and that he was getting his gratifications through that encounter. And even though, whatever, I don't know, there wasn't nothing physical going on. But of course, the whole thing is that Kendra, besides the fact that she was so delusional about her psychologist being head over heels, love at first sight puppy love, hear the harps, what is a little Cupid's arrow in your ass type of thing. Love it, you know what I'm saying. Kendra thought this guy would okay, I'm not even going to say what it would be. You know, he would do something and to do something. I don't even want to get into it. But Kendra was getting all this from AI. She talked to AI. Her whole life coach was AI. I don't know if it was Chat Bot Box 3000 or if it was infrared jellyfish, whatever, 26019. I have no conception. Whatever AI form that was conjured up, Kendra was visiting and talking. This was her therapist. This was her guru. This was her rabbi. This was her rabbi. She was, Kendra's getting all this bull crap off of AI, you know what I'm saying? And that's what was her guidance star, her whole thing, She hitched her wagon up to AI. That's screwed up. That's even more screwed up than the whole, whatever. I'm your stupid dog. Don't worry about it.